I think if we're being realistic and honest with ourselves, Mbappe is performing at a higher level than Messi at the moment. What's Messi got? 2 league goals this year? Like, that's just not a Messi that we're ever used to. I don't think he's ever had a goal scoring record this bad.
Baddie texting me, had to tell her it's not that deep. It's not that deep. She come with me, she roll with me, her nails on fleek. Nails on fleek. It's not that deep. 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 Your Baddie, keep it cool, please.
Yes, people. Yes, people. Yes, people. Welcome back to the We Talk Football podcast. Back again, like we never left. How you doing, Quakes?
I'm all good, man. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Today, guys, we've got the pleasure of being joined by #Kojo, aka Simply, aka the more talented Afari brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's a pen thing though. I'm not Afari, so.
Oh, cool, shit.
But that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, no, it's a pleasure to be here. Obviously, it's been a while since I've been back on this podcast. I think the last time we done it was, at the time, it was the most viewed video. But now I think you're way past that now. So hopefully we can hit them numbers again. But let's see.
Yeah, if there's any OG fans of the channel, by that point, I think we had like 12 subscribers, Coach. So it's probably unlikely. But yeah, we did that hour and a half video in your living room that you're sitting in right now with Julian. Yeah. Spoke a lot about the old Man United days for Julian and obviously the West Ham days for you. It's a good video. So go watch it, guys. Go watch it, especially in light of the recent development from Crystal Palace, who are now doing an aftercare system for young players. Something that's, I think, is really important. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. Quaker, my guy, you've got a topic you want to talk about today.
Yeah, so Champions League football is back, obviously. We all love it. We all love a Tuesday and Wednesday night, apart from if you're an Arsenal fan who are not playing in European football midweek, not playing in European football for like the next maybe 4 or 5 years. They're not a serious side. But for the people who have got teams in the Champions League, it's the best time of the year, especially February, March time, where there's a lot of games. There's games on every week. And yesterday we saw Kylian, the coldest, first of his name, put Real Madrid to the sword. And he delivered a dagger at the death, and he really put his name up there in lights. And this is in the game against Real Madrid where Messi misses a penalty. He looks like the shadow of his former self. And people are now out there saying that Kylian Mbappe is arguably the best player in the world. Obviously, there are a lot of contenders, a lot of people who might question that, mainly Mo Salah, Robert Lewandowski, Karim Benzema, who was on the pitch yesterday but looked largely anonymous. But it feels like yesterday was a watershed moment for football, seeing Kylian Mbappe score a goal against a Real Madrid side who have been very good this season. So I kind of just want to put it to you guys and the people listening and watching as well. Is Kylian Mbappe poised, or has he already taken over the mantle as the best player in the world?
Oh, am I going, Coach?
I'll let you go, Jamie. I'll let you start.
Do you know what? So Lionel Messi, like realistically, you look at like a normal, mere mortal footballer and you look at his record this year. I know he's playing in the French league. It's not the highest quality league, but I think he's played, 14 games this year. He's got 7 assists and 2 goals. The goal output has obviously dried up, but 7 assists, that's 1 in 2. For an average player, that's a very, very good return, like realistically. But in terms of being the best player in the world, is Messi the guy that he was last year? He didn't want to leave Barcelona, So if anything, it just shows that he's mere mortal. He is human at the end of the day, but this is still a guy that's probably in the top 10 players. Is he the top? Probably not, in my opinion. I think what Kylian Mbappe last night, it was almost symbolic of a passing of the torch. It really was. And it was tinged with something special from Neymar, a player that has, to some people, been seen as unfulfilled talent because he's never really got that. Well, he went to PSG to make it his team, and it's now Mbappe's team. Let's be realistic. But it was tinged with some greatness from Neymar, and to see Mbappe, go through 2 Real Madrid defenders like they weren't even there and finish it in coolly, and then go and celebrate the way he did in front of a team that he's heavily linked with next year. Kylian the coldest, as you say, my guy.
Yeah. What about you, Kojo?
Yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting dynamic there at PSG with, as Jamie was saying, Neymar, people see him as unfulfilled talent. And then you've got Mbappe, who we're all looking to see, can he fulfill his talent? And then you've got Messi, who has fulfilled, I think everyone would agree that he has fulfilled his talent. But in terms of where they're at the moment, I think if we're being realistic and honest with ourselves, Mbappe is performing at a higher level than Messi at the moment. What's Messi got? 2 league goals this year? Like, that's just not a Messi that we're ever used to. I don't think he's ever had a goal scoring record this bad since he first came into the Barca side. So I think we have to come to the reality that Messi isn't the Messi he was. And I think we have to respect Kylian, because I think besides the Euros, anytime he's been called upon in big moments, he's delivered. And I mean, the kid, like, we've got to remember, the kid's 23. Do you know what I mean? He's 23 and he's already won the World Cup. I mean, I know they didn't quite, they weren't able to win the Champions League against Bayern. But I mean, if he had won that, then we'll be talking about Kylian the GOAT, like let alone Kylian the coldest. He would have been the GOAT already at that 23. So, I mean, we have to give him his flowers already, but hopefully he can stay on that kind of the path to fulfilling his potential. But I think the torch has been passed.
Yeah, I'll be honest though. Sorry to interrupt, but like, I'll be honest. I think Kylian Mbappe is obviously like top quality. Like, yeah, he's outperforming Messi, but I still don't put Kylian Mbappe as the best player in the world. I still firmly think that Mo Salah is operating at a level that no one else in world football is really. So Mo Salah is still my guy. But yeah, Quakes, I cut you off.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, from my point of view, what, and I think you're probably right in terms of Mo Salah's operating at a higher level than Kylian Mbappe. From my point of view, and I was reflecting on it before, as in why I don't enjoy football as much as I used to when I was younger. Maybe it's because it's football overload and there's so much of it and it's so accessible. But I think some of it is attributed to like the I don't know, the enjoyment you get from somebody young doing it. And I feel like football back in the day, as I'll come off the back of watching the Wayne Rooney documentary, and Wayne Rooney was like early 20s, one of the best players in the world, same as Ronaldo, same as Messi, early 20s doing it. And I feel like when you see somebody young doing it, it hits a lot different to seeing somebody maybe in the late 20s in Salah's case, or in the 30s in Lewandowski's case, doing it at the highest level. And so you're probably right, Jamie, that in terms of operating at the highest level, it's Mo Salah right now. But in terms of the baton being passed, I feel like Mo Salah's maybe overlaps the generation of Messi and Ronaldo for the baton to be passed onto him. And so if you're a football fan, and you're a young football fan who are maybe looking for those players to buy the shirts and sign on FIFA, I think Kylian Mbappe is that guy. And I think it's him and Haaland who are those guys. We're doing it at a young age. We've seen Mbappe pick up a World Cup already, came within a whisker of winning the Champions League. PSG were beaten by a better Bayern Munich side in the Champions League final a couple of years ago. But he's well on his path and he's well on his way. And I feel like what set Messi and Ronaldo apart for the decade and a half they were doing it at the top was the consistency. When the moment was there, they rose to the occasion. And we saw Kylian do it in parts yesterday against a team that he's touted to go to in the summer. And I feel that it was just a watershed moment where you see a game where Lionel Messi misses a penalty. Anyone misses penalties. He hasn't got the greatest penalty record, but I'm not going to attribute that to his poor form. I'm just going to attribute that to Thibaut Courtois being a good keeper. But
it was a poor penalty, though. It was a poor penalty.
Yeah. And Messi's not got an amazing penalty record, but I don't think that's indicative of his poor form. I just think that's just Messi being poor at penalties. He was poor at penalties when he was picking up Ballon d'Ors in his early 20s, and he's poor at penalties now in comparison to the rest of his game. But I feel like in a game where Messi does miss a penalty and Mbappe does score the winner, I feel like maybe the torch hasn't been fully passed because we've seen Messi score 5 Champions League goals this season in 6 games, which is an incredible record. But I feel like Kylian is next up. We're going to see. Let's peak not watching Haaland in the Champions League, but we're going to see Haaland in the Europa League tomorrow for Dortmund, and I'm sure he's going to score a bag full of goals. So when I'm looking at the future generation of people or players that kids are going to be looking up to, for me, for the next decade or so, it's going to be Haaland and Mbappe.
Yeah, I totally agree. They've been touted for quite a while to be the players that are next up, so to speak. And, you know, Mbappe is 23 years old, but it feels like he's been around forever. It feels like forever since he made like that, you know, he tore Man City up when he was at Monaco. You remember that Monaco side that was full of stars that have gone on to be stars elsewhere? You know, Fabinho, obviously, don't want to mention his name, but obviously Benjamin Mendy went on and had a great career at Man City before he threw his career away. And, you know, there was like stars all over that pitch, even Bakayoko. Yeah, Bernardo Silva, Bakayoko went to Chelsea. He's now at AC Milan. I think he's at AC Milan still, but, you know, it feels like forever since he made that appearance, you know, and he was like, you know, tearing up Man City all those years ago. And it feels like he's gone from strength to strength and strength since then. And it's terrifying for a football fan to, you know, like playing against France with their litany of stars and seeing how strong they are as a side. But yeah, Haaland, you look at what he's doing in the Bundesliga. I think he's got like 50 odd goals in 50 odd games. It's kind of, I don't want to say unparalleled because Messi and Ronaldo have been doing this, but 10, 15 years ago, that's unparalleled. You know, that's not the kind of thing you see. So it's good for football because there's always going to be a shadow cast over the sport when, you know, the two greatest players of all time, and I am saying it with my chest, the two greatest players of all time do retire. They're going to leave a legacy that's never been seen before in football. But it's good to see from a footballing perspective that there's two, you know, young players that are, you know, just absolute ballers scoring goals for fun.
What I will ask is, like, obviously we're not writing off Messi and Ronaldo's career yet. Like I said, Messi's off the back of scoring 30 league goals last season, and he picked up the Ballon d'Or a couple of months ago. So he's far from done, but we're seeing him at later stages of his career. And same as Cristiano Ronaldo, despite him scoring a stunning goal for Manchester United against Brighton midweek. But with these two players, I feel like this international tournament in terms of the World Cup in November will be the last time, if Cristiano Ronaldo even makes it there, he's got a qualifier to get through. That will be the final stage that will see them on internationally, maybe both playing at the upper echelons or final stages of a major international tournament. Do you think that winning the World Cup will do anything for their legacy in regards to enhancing it for Messi and Ronaldo? I know you said they're the two greatest players of all time. So some people that may dispute that, but do you think winning the World Cup will maybe cap off their career and in style in the way that they want to finish it off?
I think it's massive, actually, in terms of if Ronaldo or Messi is able to win a World Cup at the end of their career, at their ages as well, it would literally be the determining factor in terms of who has been the better player, who's had the better career. I think that is the decider. So if Ronaldo can lift the World Cup, if he's even able to get there, then, I mean, he'll go down as the greatest player of all time. And I honestly do believe that. And same with Messi, especially where they both have one international trophy to their name each, unless you include that, the Nations Cup. But I don't think we're going to include that. What do you guys think? Would you include the Nations Cup?
I mean, for me personally, no. And I feel like that's the only black cloud that really remains over both of their careers. You get the older heads. Obviously, we grew up in the Messi and Ronaldo generation. And you get the older heads, the guys that are in their 40s, their 50s, that are always going to say Maradona and Pele were the greatest of all time. And it's because they did it on the club stage and also did it on the international stage. So, like you say, I feel not only does it distance one of them from another, I also feel like it kind of leaves no stone unturned as to whether they are the greatest player of all time. If Ronaldo or Messi win a World Cup, they are the GOAT, and it's undisputed in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm in agreement. I was talking to my mate who's going to go to Argentina for the World Cup because it's in Qatar in November. It's going to be summer in Argentina, so it's going to be warm. It's going to be the first time that it's been like a warm World Cup in Argentina for a while. And he was saying about the importance to the Argentinian people for Messi to pick up that World Cup because he was somebody who moved to Barcelona very, very young. And of course, he's a legend in Argentina, but they maybe don't love him as much as they love some of the other legends, i.e. Maradona. So if Messi was to pick up this World Cup, it would really, really cement his legacy. And I feel like from an eye test point of view, we all know the story. We all know Wagwan, like Messi is a better footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo has the accomplishments in terms of goal scorer and he's done it in multiple leagues. So yeah, for both of them, it would mean a lot to pick up the World Cup, but I think it might just mean a little bit more for Lionel Messi. I feel like there will be no questions about Cristiano Ronaldo when he retires. He maximized his talent. Of course, he was a precocious youngster that had a lot of talent that we saw from a very young age, but it wasn't like he was the chosen one. Lionel Messi was the chosen one. People were talking about him when he was 8, 9, 10 years old. And he's gone and won it all on the club stage. And he's won an international trophy in terms of the Copa America with Argentina. But for the arc of Lionel Messi, a player that we've known about for the best part of 2-3 decades, if he picks up the World Cup, it will really cement his legacy. And I feel like there will be no question as to who the GOAT is when it comes to football.
Ronaldo's my GOAT, though. Ronaldo will always be my GOAT. But yeah, I think
even if Messi picks up the World Cup, Ronaldo will be a GOAT.
Do you know what? I look at the sides that Messi's played in comparatively to what Ronaldo has played in the international side. I know Portugal have got a really good side now. They're starting to develop into obviously they won the Euros, but you look at the squad that they won the Euros with, that was nowhere near the strongest side at that tournament. You look at some of the sides that Messi's played in, and he's always been the star, but this is in a team that might have Di Maria, Higuain when he was in his pomp, Aguero, like Lavezzi when he was balling out in the Italian league. Like, I mean, yeah, I think comparatively, I don't think it's a fair playing field.
Do you not think it's an indictment on Ronaldo if this Portugal team is probably one of the most talented teams in the world, don't make it to a World Cup with all this talent?
Oh yeah, 100% now, because you look at what Bernardo Silva probably is in the top 10 players in the world.
Jota,
Bruno
Fernandes.
Last year, Bruno Fernandes for a lot of people would have been in their top 10. Like, Renato Sanchez, like he won the league last year in France. Like they've got lots of players in that side that are performing at a very high level. Like obviously, look, Diaz at the back. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, let's be serious. Like they've got a solid side now, but I'm saying this side now wasn't the side that won the Euro, like the Euros, like what was it, like 4 years ago? Yeah. 3-4 years ago. So the side he's got now it's when you have a conversation, it's like there's actually expectations on Portugal. But back then it was kind of, all right, I'm going to put you on my back and then go win the European, the European Championships. And then it wasn't like when he got injured, everyone felt like they got injured. And when he celebrated on the sidelines, everyone celebrated with him. Do you know what I mean? Like you felt that emotion because you can see how much it meant to him. But now, obviously, the quality of the side is much higher. The expectation is going to be higher. I'm just saying, I only feel like now is probably a fair comparison of where, like, you look at the best sides that Messi played in at Argentina, and he's had some like absolutely unreal sides that just haven't performed well enough. And I don't feel like that's fair to compare with Portugal. I know he's played with, with Ronaldo in general, but that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah. No, that's fair. It's an interesting one. And the Messi Ronaldo debate will always go on even after they finish. I can't wait for their version of the Last Dance documentary, which is going to be incredible. Just they're two like opposite players. This conversation has kind of evolved from talking about the new up and comers to Messi and Ronaldo, as all football conversations do, because they've been the standard bearers for the last 2 decades. So it'd be interesting to see how they all finish off their career. There's not been the best of seasons for both of them, but yeah, I'm excited to see the next crop of players who are going to take the mantle and take football to a new place. Maybe a place that's not all stats based, a place where we appreciate players for the eye test as opposed to the amount of goals and assists they get.
And I think what's quite interesting on that as well is, like you say, football's coming to a new place, and it really is, because as we all know, Mbappe is out of contract at the end of this season, and then you've got Haaland as well, who I know his contract's till like 2024, but he's got a release clause at the end of this season where he can be bought for 75 million euros. So like it's going to be exciting to see where these players go. Like we know Mbappe wants to go to Real Madrid, so that will be the next stage. Mbappe at Real Madrid, like that sounds like a love story already. So
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
Look at that side yesterday that played, man. Like realistically, they've got like I just don't look at that side. Like I'm not intimidated by that Real Madrid side in the slightest. I think their best players are raging. Their 3 best players are Casemiro, Modric, and Benzema. They're all on the wrong. Like they're all. You know what I mean? Like
I love it though, because like if he goes to one of the best sides in the world already, say he goes to Man City, I don't know how good you are. Like you say, this Real Madrid team, although they are top of La Liga, it's not a vintage Real Madrid side. So if Mbappe goes there and he challenges himself and he goes and drags them, like what Ronaldo did. When Ronaldo came to Real Madrid, we were in the midst of the greatest Barcelona side of all time. A side that had in midfield Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, obviously Messi. They were winning titles after titles, Champions League after Champions League. Ronaldo came to Real Madrid at not the best time, and he eventually dragged them to European glory. Let's see if Kylian Mbappe can do that, because they ain't won the Champions League since Ronaldo walked out the door. That was his favourite player growing up. Go and emulate that number 7 at Bernabeu and let's see what you can do.
Bro, I'm selfish. I have to look at this from a neutral perspective because I understand that, he's never going to come and play for West Ham United. But I want to see him in the Premier League, man. I want to see him like balling out in the Premier League. I want to see the best players in the Premier League, to enhance the product of the Premier League. The Spanish league is a dying league in my opinion, man. Like I don't feel like
this could be what it needs to be rejuvenated, so to speak.
And also, though, if you look at the Spanish league as well, like they were living off the back of Messi and Ronaldo. Like whenever a Spanish team came up against English team in the Europa League or the Champions League, they just used to slap us up. They used to slap us up, and that come from the top down. So if you see these players go to Spanish leagues, obviously the English league is always going to be strong. It's the richest league in the world. But I'm seeing the Kylian Mbappe in the white of Real Madrid ain't the worst thing in the world. I don't want to see him at Liverpool. So, you know what I mean? I'll be happy to see him at any other team that's not one of our English rivals.
But you want to see Haaland at Chelsea, though, right? You want to see Haaland at Chelsea, though?
For myself, I want to see Mbappe, Haaland. I want to see them all at Chelsea. Yeah, all
exactly,
at Chelsea.
Mate. I would rather that.
Not in the Premier League. Not in the Premier League. I want to see them at my club. But I don't want to see them playing. I like these players. I want to root for these players. I can't root for somebody who plays for Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Spurs. You're not going Spurs, but like I can't root for somebody playing for one of those clubs. So yeah.
You got something against North London in this video, bro. You've taken shots at Arsenal and Spurs now.
It's just the idea.
I also did notice that you mentioned West Ham in there. Obviously, we are in the top 6, but that's fine. I'll glance over that.
Bankrupt yourself for years to come.
Hey, Kylian, you want to challenge yourself? London Stadium, mate. London Stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moisaya. Right. Imagine Bowen and Mbappe. Come on. So yeah, it's been good to have you back on, Kojo. For anyone that doesn't really know, look at this boy. He's an idiot, right? He's actually an idiot. Not you, Kojo, but yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Kojo is pretty much heavily involved with us, like behind the camera. Helped us a lot with loads of edits, especially some of the graphics that go up on Instagram and the more serious interviews that we've done with people like Darren Bent and everything like that. So yeah, Kojo's been heavily involved with us for a while. We just haven't really got him in front of camera for a long minute, Coach.
It's been a minute. As I said, it's a pleasure to jump on to see how far the podcast has come from the first episodes in Quakey South London flat to like where it is now and who you've interviewed. It's like it's come so far, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
No, of course, mate. Well, your family at the end of the day. And for anyone that doesn't know, the new theme song to our podcast that's been on there for the last month or so, that's Kojo. Tell us about that, Coach.
Yeah, so I'm actually an artist as well. A lot of people might not have known that, but yeah, I've just released my debut single with my friend MA. And yeah, it's called Baddie. You can catch that on my Instagram. Can I plug myself?
Of course you can.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to do it anyway, to be fair. But yeah, SimplyKojo on the gram, SimplyKojo on Twitter. And we've actually got a show coming up as well. So make sure you go and grab tickets for that. That is on March the 19th in Dalston, the Moustache Bar. So yeah, the link in my bio, if you click that, then you'll see the tickets for the show there. But yeah, that's where you'll find me.
Yeah, that sounds sick, Kojo. Yeah, so March 19th, people, we'll put the link in our bio as well. And we haven't even mentioned hashtag. Kojo pays for hashtag now. That's something that's new in the last, few months really. So for another day, that is. And in the meantime, Quakey, where can they find us?
So you can find us on Instagram at We Talk Football Podcast. We're on Twitter at WTF Podcast 90, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You know where to find us. Spotify, also look out for Baddie, as Jamie said. And we'll be back with more videos very, very soon.
That's it, guys. Catch you next week.
See you later. Baddie out now.
Come.